Let's look at our progress at the end of the 6th week. And A and B, as we reported earlier, have been completed, and work has started on C and E, but not on D. And the people doing the work have reported that for activity E, it's 50% done, and they spent $10,000. And the manager in charge of activity C, has accomplished 3/4 of the activity at a cost of $24,000. No work has been done on D. So we go ahead and look at the earned values. We continue to earn for the completed work of A and B. We now get credit for 75% of C. C is 48. 75 of 48 is 36. We get no credit for D because no work has been accomplished. And we get 50% of activity E, which is 14. Now we look at the end of period 6 to see what was supposed to happen. Sure enough, A and B were supposed to be done. And at the end of the 6th week, $24,000 worth of C work was supposed to be done. We put that in. D, even though it hasn't started, was supposed to have started, and $6,000 worth of work was supposed to be done. And then finally, for E, $8,000 worth of work was supposed to be done. We total up these columns. Get $122,000 worth of work has been completed for period 6 at a cost of $93,000, and $110,000 worth of work was supposed to be done. Go ahead and calculate the CV as being earned value minus actual costs, and we get 5 and 8, 12, 0, and 10 from 14 is 4, and so we are $29,000 under budget. Now we do the schedule variance, earned value minus planned value, 0 and 0. A and B were supposed to be done. They are done. $24,000 worth of work on C was supposed to be done at this time period. We're ahead of schedule by 12. But we're behind on D. $6,000 worth of work on D was supposed to be done. None's been done. Gonna put that minus sign in there. And then finally, we're $6,000 ahead on activity E. And we add those up, and we have a positive schedule variance. There's $12,000 worth of work that was supposed to be done that hasn't been done at the end of the 6th period. Now, this raises an interesting issue in terms of, are we really ahead of schedule? And one of the limitations of schedule variance is that schedule variance doesn't differentiate between critical and non-critical activities. If you go back and look at that original network, and you should do that now, you'll see that activity D is on the critical path. And the non-critical activity, E, is already ahead of schedule. So are we really ahead of schedule on this project if we're behind on a critical activity? I would say no, we're not. Because after all, the critical path determines the ultimate duration of the project. And so this is one of the things you have to be careful about in terms of schedule variance. Schedule variance can suggest you're ahead of schedule, but to really know if you're ahead of schedule, you need to look at what's going on the critical path. And in this case, D, a critical activity, is behind schedule.